Okay. Puppy go home happened today. This little girl got left with us for the week after. So while other people are doing their first week with puppy at home, we're gonna try to share a little bit of what our first week could look like. It will look obviously a little different because we're very familiar and a lot of our spaces are familiar to this little girl, but everything else has changed. She doesn't have her buddies. She'll sleep in her crate, do all the things that we suggest for our puppy families to make it the most similar we can for the babies. So let me know if you have questions. I'm gonna try to do this as we go. Okay, so I'm gonna have other puppies in these videos, but we're gonna be hanging out. It's Osa's first week, week 8. We're gonna call this, I guess, week 8, week 9. She's got her own play area. It's different without her buddies, so she's just looking around kinda. But just like normal, I brought her out. She was in her own little space and fed her dinner in her own little individual bowl for the first time. So I will give her still 3 meals a day, work on getting her out to potty as soon as she eats or be out here to eat. She ate almost all her food, so I'll take the rest of it up because obviously she's done. And really, puppies don't overeat, but they'll eat when they're hungry. And so giving them a meal option allows them to know to eat when they need to and when they're fed, but they'll only eat as much as they really need. So we gave her that, gave her water. Since this is our dinner break, this will be our last water for the night because she will go into a crate in her room, which is different. She's been in her open litter crate with a potty option, so she won't have that tonight. So we're gonna make sure she doesn't eat and drink too late. We'll still do like a post-dinner nap when she settles down is what I will normally do, and then we will let her out sometime between like 8:30 and 9, and then in bed by 9:30, back in her crate, and she'll know it's time for bed. And I will have that in a place that she can be heard, so that if she's telling me she's got to go potty, I'll know where she is, and that I can respond to her her vocal action or however she's letting me know by letting her out and right back in. So we don't do any playtime in the middle of the night, but we will let her potty, put her right back to sleep, and I will make her stay in there until 5:36 because we will not wake up before that, at least like officially. I might have to, you might have to, but trying to get her to go back to sleep if she wakes up too early or wakes up in the middle of the night is key for long-term help, sleep, health, all the things. So that's where we're at. Night 1, she already did her first like solo playpen time while we ran out to deliver our last puppy, and she's happy to have me back. Oh no, thank you. No bite. So that's gonna happen a lot. It's a quick no bite or no bite, and it's a good pinch so that they know not to do that and stop right away, and she usually does. She just wants to play and hang out. So I'm gonna grab some toys and just play with her. Wear her out a little bit, just like her siblings would have. Ready, go. Good girl, good girl. Yes, yes. So whenever she does something I want her to do, I'll say, yes, good girl. In reward, when she doesn't do something I want, I'll let y'all know. She just wants to follow me around. She's not really in control. She's very human focused. So depending on the kind of puppy you got, you're gonna need to do the right things to get them active and play with them during these moments because they don't have their siblings to wear them out. Good girl. What is that? What is that? little bit. We'll probably let her in, be with her mom, be with her kids, hang with the fam before we settle down for kind of nap time. She's also got mom to distract her, which is gonna be really different for her than anyone else, but mom doesn't really want to be with her. Good sit. Oh, that's a good girl. Good girl. Yes, good sit. Yes. Good job. We have the mama, so she's gonna love her already, but if you have another dog, most of our puppies would just love them like one of our moms or dogs that we've had here that they want to play with. So it's really up to like how your big dog responds. This is a fun stage because Yossi wants to play with her. She's usually just telling her no. She's like a mini Yossi. How cute. So we'll have little play sessions this week, which is fun. And mom will give her good lessons in dog language, which I cannot do. So that actually helps train her a lot. If you have a dog sibling or like a safe dog you can socialize with that's vaccinated and hasn't been to the dog park or store, or, a lot of those high traffic areas recently or that day, have them over to help socialize your puppy too. Once they get settled in your home. Lay down. Good girl. You're a good girl. Good girl. Good bed. Good morning. I have Miss Elsa here. We have family in the background. But we made it through the night, which is we had to go out twice. Once when Daddy went to bed late. And we went to bed, got her all settled. Daddy goes to bed later, so she did wake up then. Had to go potty soon after, so I let her out around midnight, and then around 4:30 I got her to go back to sleep, and then we woke up at 6:15. So that's how we did. She did cry each time, and I just sat with her for a minute and put my hand on the side of the kennel, told her it was okay, me to go back to sleep, and kind of had to like shush off and on for maybe a few minutes. But when she was super heavy crying, I just would sit right next to her with my hand so she could smell and see, and we didn't do so bad. Came out, went potty right away in the morning. We ate breakfast, hung out a little bit. She went back out after a little time in the pen while I fed the other dogs and kind of ran around a little, so that's gonna have to happen too. We have to contain her a little bit, either in a crate or in a smaller pen. She doesn't have free reign. That's when accidents happen. We're doing good. So that's night one. Night one. So we were able to go to church today. I wasn't sure how long we'd be. And some anomalies with egg hunting and all the things. So you can see I still have this pen set up. It has her crate in it for bed. But I also gave her some extra space and just potty area. So it is okay if you know you can't let her out when she lets you know she needs to go out of her crate to leave a space. So working parents, yeah, something comes up, what you can't do with kids that you can do with dogs is leave them in a safe space with enough room. And she had water and a potty area, and she just slept, I think, because this is also what she was used to with her litter mates in this room and all the things. I didn't put her with the other puppies, but they were right across the way, so she also had company in here, so she wasn't really even whining when we left. So we all just went out and had a big lunch, big play, little Easter egg hunt for the puppies, and we're gonna just hang inside and chill for a bit, and I'm gonna wait and watch for her to get tired. I'm gonna let her run around the house just a few minutes. She just peed and pooped, and then we'll do just another good crate nap, but while we're home, so she learns that that's also part of her daily life, is napping in her crate in our space. So she'll go into our bedroom in her crate. Good girl, you're okay. Good girl. She knows she's tired. Good girl, it's okay. Good girl. Up there. Did you put her up there? It's also okay to have moments where your babies snuggle in and hang out as part of the fam. She's watching the spooky movie with us. Good girl. And again, she just went from laying there, running around crazy with her mama for a while outside. I saw her pee, so she's back cuddling and we'll do this until probably final let out. I could put her in a crate, but we can also have some cuddle time. So I'm sure that's what we'll do. Just did our final let out. I put my kids to bed. We did a movie. Getting a little snuggles to get the extra tireds in before we go back to the crate. So, she's doing so good. She has not had one accident in the house. We were end of day 1. Yesterday would have been day 0 when we all went home. I would count. You could say day 1 at home. But she's such a sweet girl. I'm loving the extra time. So is her mama. Okay, it's day 2. And we had a pretty good morning. Or overnight, I guess I should say. I did have to get up twice, once around midnight and once around like 3:30 for a little miss. She peed and the first time and went right back in her crate, and pooped and went right back in her crate. She did not go right to bed. And those are the moments where you sit and go, oh my gosh, I can't do this. How many nights do I have to do this? How long is this gonna last? I know it's not gonna last very long, but just to encourage you, it still happens. For the best of us. But she gets encouraged. I talk to her about going back to bed. I try to use my trigger words like bed and night. And I shush her a lot. And I do say, like, when she really starts to like harp up her voice, I say no. You're okay. I try to stay calm. Because yelling back doesn't necessarily help. But now, so I woke up and let all the puppies out. We're with, again, my chores are gonna look different than yours are in the morning with puppies, and so therefore like her friends. But she went out with the mama. She then went out and played with the puppies for a little bit. It's cold, and so they're still like ready to play and rumble. So I'm gonna do puppy chores in here. And so I can't hold her or watch her 24/7. So she is in this pen, and this is where like a playpen is helpful. If you can't like have eyes on puppy all the time in your house, you don't want to just let them roam, or even like try to let them keep up with you. If you don't want accidents, because that's when they're in a place where all of a sudden they don't know where the door is or how to go find the place that they're supposed to go potty, and they just have an accident. So she did just go potty, but she also just ate and drank, and so I would expect that again. They get fed outside, and so I'm used to that. Okay, and at this point, those puppies got so loud, I can't handle it for you, and so I'm not going to explain. I'm explaining that those puppies are screaming. I'm not going to finish this part of the video. I will explain again in another clip what I use the crates for, or the pens, and why it's helpful. But just know that this is an option for you, and always okay. It's not ideal to have like a place to go potty if you can get them outside when you're around, but it's okay if you know you have to leave them, and that's what it will look like for a stint of time. That is the benefit of puppies, and knowing that you have that freedom if you need it. So bear with me with just a little extra puppy whining as I explain some tips about this type of time. But something like a Kong with peanut butter and a little food in it, or a puzzle toy, those are good options for moments like this where you want her to be like barking at you the whole time that you're getting your kids ready for school or getting ready for work or things that you have to do in life. It's okay to let them sit by themselves and try to entertain, self-soothe. That's where you find those tricks, training toys, puzzles that you can use during these moments. So that's what I would say the best trick for times like this, where you still just need to do your stuff and are home but need them to hang. not necessarily crate time yet, but try to keep them busy without another human keeping them busy, or a dog. Getting her quiet? Okay, it's time to go. Alright, so we're going to the store. She's gonna stay right where all the other mamas are. Everyone has crate time.
Mom.
Okay, we're back to school. Our morning starts early. So little miss
That's Miss Norma.
got to, no, that's not her, but
No, she drives there.
come with us to drop off. I drive the kids about 6 minutes away from our house to their bus stop, where they ride the bus back to camp. So, how's she doing? Good. She was kind of nervous to get in the car, which is great. Good for her to see other cars. She won't see a lot of other people, but we'll drive around a bit. I have a seat bed I can put her in up here once the kids go. But
We could see
sun's coming out. I've gotten to the point where I don't let the little puppies out until after I get back from school drop off during school days. So they're early mornings. And with her in my room, she got to go out with the big dogs, and obviously it was like part of our hustle and bustle to get ready quick. We spend about 40 minutes getting ready for school usually. We're almost 40 today. So yeah, she, I guess, night report 3. I had to get up about good. She is settling in to understand that that's her nighttime space. She spent a couple chunks in her crate yesterday, like right next to the big dogs in their crates. I think that probably helps. But also just in her crate napping as well. And yeah, we're gonna do some other tips and tricks today to talk through what I have and what you might need for your first week. Per request, but otherwise doing really good. Day 3. I am going to try to dive into some of the things that are going to be helpful for you to have. Might tap into like what you don't necessarily need. But Osa's back here right now. We're playing with our other litter that are going home this coming weekend. So they were about 8 days younger. Much smaller, so they didn't really interact as a whole litter, but she's pretty gentle and doing a great job. Just also used to having buddies more so than like wrestlemates, and so I've let her integrate into this litter for different play dates. She's doing a great job, so that's great, and we're letting her do that. P.S. Do you like my Christmas, young life? Here we are. So anyway, it's fun for her to have, you know, some stimulation and activity. She can do this with me, with kids, but other safe animals are a great option for new puppies at home. Bring in a vaccinated puppy that is safe, hasn't been to a dog park lately, or, you know, can even just like wipe paws on the way in. There's always some risk with any exposure, but the exposure is worth the risk in light of socialization if it's calculated. So we like calculated risks that are good for exposure. Here she is, she's just watching. We've been playing for a bit, so we're gonna and stalking jump into nap time again soon, but she's been playing with moms, she's been playing with the puppies. She obviously gets handled a lot by my kids, so those are one great thing and option to have for the first week home. As we get tired, another thing to have ready is either a playpen setup or at least your crate. But the nice thing about having some kind of area, and this can be set up by a baby gate in a laundry room, a small room, around you in your kitchen area so that it's just near where you're at. It doesn't have to have a potty area. That's just what I tell people, it's just a crutch. It's like a stepping stone to what you actually want to do. So if you can, you're always just watching puppy and not providing a pee area or a potty area that's not ultimately where you want them to go, which is outside. But like for me, this is what she's used to. I have to leave her for a couple hours at a time or to take care of other puppies right now. She has a safe place to be, either in there or just with the litter that we have here right now. So those are the two options we've been working with outside of just her crate in my room where she naps and sleeps. And then the last few days I've been really reliant on my kids or other family members to just be watching her or with her and outside with her a lot. It's been nice, so that's easy. If it's not nice in winter times, you know, you just have to like follow them around and then take them out, in and out and in and out. And that's just what it looks like until they are somehow speaking to you about having to go potty, whether that's like, whining at the door or hi, like sitting somewhere that's near where they need to go, ringing a bell. If you can set up like a clicker area, like they have these like, you know, thumb clickers that they can like tell you. Anyway, there's lots of options. So you set up something that allows your puppy a voice to tell you what they need. She's not gonna want to be in here, but or maybe she's thirsty. So you do want that space to be able to put puppy down and get your stuff done, because yes, they can be all consuming and take up like your whole day, in that you just have to be watching them so that there's no accidents. She's actually tired enough that she could just sleep here right now. So this is the ultimate time for me to take her to her crate and have her get a good nap behind a closed door in my bedroom. So that's where I'm gonna head next, and explain maybe some other things. I've got to get the other puppies in though, so I will do that and then put her in her crate. Okay, we're doing it. She's gonna whine for a minute, but I wanted to point out, here's another trick. Sound machine. It really is helpful during nap time. So much of my puppy stuff is like old kid stuff reworked. So, okay, out, mamas, go in. Mama might sit here with her. Good girl. Shh, 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 shh. And tricks. I'm gonna shush her. I'm gonna sit with her. I'll probably wait for a little bit. She might cry when I leave. But we're gonna make her nap for this nap. Also, as soon as she naps and then starts whining, I'm gonna take her out. Even if it's only 15 minutes. We're a little bit, she's made it for a couple hours in a nap in her crate, so I'm not that worried, but that's an eventual, once we've built it up. Yossi, stop. She's moving my arm. So we are gonna get these other mamas out of here so that she can sleep and get a good nap in. Hi, Bubba. It's like torture. And it's gonna get to your heartstrings, but it's also not. It's a great, safe place, a good spot where they know it's nap time and they settle in faster than most other places. So that's why we crate train. Already falling asleep. Okay, I'm gonna film this video showing some things I just purchased. Ideally you have these things before puppy comes back, but you also might need to see what puppy likes before you buy a bunch of things. So, week one with puppy. The typical, like what I tell most of my owners is you need a crate. I'm giving you some scented items. I'm giving you a few toys. I'm giving you some chews that should work. You need food, bowl, bed that you can work on place with, and like a crate in bed. If you want to have an area where you can put puppy down and like keep it contained, either a playpen or a couple baby gates, something that you can use to block off a kitchen or room. It doesn't have to be like the technical gate, something you have to buy. You can get creative because you're only using some of those things for a short period of time. So you don't want to go crazy spending money on things you don't need. Or look up like Facebook Marketplace. There's a bunch of like old baby toys, baby stuff, dog things that are used and someone's passing on for that short season too. But a couple of the other things I got for like, okay, this is next level. I did all the things. I still just need something to keep my puppy busy, etc. We use freeze-dried treats mostly, or just kibble for dogs when we're talking about training. And so I really like these big chunks. Are hard for puppies, but then you can cut them up if you're willing to spend some time, or just try to find. Freeze-dried stuff does not come in super small treat sizes, but most of the like treats that are training treats for puppies are weird ingredients. And so you just want to be careful giving your puppy too much of something, because you don't want them to have an upset tummy. So again, like use your meal time as your training time. My dogs are barking. Or use a treat that's like single ingredient, something like that. So that's what we have. I also got some of these natural bully sticks, are some of my favorite things for like crate time, high value rewards that you can give your puppy for like, here, stay busy while I do this thing or make dinner or whatever. I still wouldn't recommend like putting them in an area and leaving for a long period of time, just because you want to watch they don't get too small of pieces and things, but these are great. You want to make sure anytime you're getting a treat that you look at the back of the bag. One of the ingredients should be very few ingredients. Also, there is a label on the back of a lot of treats that has, it's like a little circle that talks about checked in a facility with radiation, avoid it. I was recommended that at one point, and then it was really hard to find stuff, but it totally is out there. These are great options. You can also go to like farm stores, are great options for like just the pig ear or bully stick that they sell just single pieces and quantities of. Little trick. These are great for an option like a chew as well. I really do love the Bernedoodle chews if you're looking for like a bone that is less natural, if you're weirded out by it. You can also go to your butcher or even just your grocery store and ask if they have like bones that they've cut up for dogs. I wouldn't recommend that in a house or an area that's not easily wipeable, but that's another great option, that they're not very expensive, high reward, love them, and they will chew for a long time. And those don't splinter. Like, you never use cooked bones or things, but if you can find raw bones from a butcher, or again, like your deli, whatever, deli butcher. So that's another option. I also got this slow feeder to try. I hadn't seen one like this. It's a different brand than I've seen, but I have been feeding the puppies in the trays. They do have a lip, but they like slosh, and when they run through them, they spill a lot of food right now. So I'm gonna try these even for my week 8 puppies and feed them. I can even like refill this so that it's not overflowing, but like feed them. It's not very deep, like the pocket's not very deep, but it looked like it would maybe keep them in. It has little like feet on it that will maybe keep it from sliding around. But these are nice, and they have lots of these that are like silicone and flatter to put like peanut butter on, or even broth that you can put in and then freeze it. And then that's a really good like way to feed your puppy, to make them take their time eating and or use it as another like treat reward time. I didn't grab it, but also like tons of puzzles out there. Grab puzzles at the dollar store, even has puzzles sometimes. Or there's a lot of options and different levels of puzzles. You can find them on Amazon and all kinds of brands. But we used puzzles the last week, or like snuffle mats, to keep puppies busy. Use it again as your meal. Extend that time that you can leave puppy for a while. And then I got some of these balls. I really like the rubber balls. Once our puppies are like 6-7 weeks, they'll like chew apart the fluffy stuff that's on rubber balls, and so I don't love those. For puppies, once your dogs are older and they're not like sitting and just like chewing on something, they're probably fine. But regular tennis balls I avoid for like the early weeks of puppy, just because we don't want to train them to pull that off. As soon as they start to do something like that, remove like whatever it is that they're chewing or tearing apart. You want to remove that thing and give them a break from it, and then introduce it again another time, so that it's not teaching them that that's what you do with that thing if you don't want them to do that. But a couple of my puppies, I also got these different sizes so you could see. Like these are the regular Chuck-It ball ones. We love Chuck-Its. These are smaller and better for, I have a couple of puppies going home with like a base narrowish bite this litter. And so I'm going to put these in their bag so that they can work on ball therapy. It's a great option just to help as puppies are teething generally. Puppies' teeth move in and out in all directions as they grow out, and then they lose them really quickly. It's so wild. They don't even have teeth until they're 4 weeks. They start losing them like in 8 weeks. It's crazy. And then, yeah, you want to get them to shape their teeth well. And so like chews, dental chews is another option, but they just eat those really fast often. So ball therapy, balls are a great thing for even like teeth work and plaque buildup. So another thing I got, we talk a lot about the difference between parvo safety and making sure that your dogs don't go crazy in the like exposure world when they're not fully vaccinated, versus socialization and the need to socialize your dog, especially your puppy. Like there's different windows of time where they have like fear rise and fall, and so we don't want to keep them home and like shelter them during those windows where socialization is so important, and they allows them to get over a hump where they can continue to trust. Our puppies leave in a place where they're like, everyone is a friend, everything is safe. They can quickly dip when they're not continuing either sound exposure. I'm always playing like YouTube sound desensitization videos for my litters. I continue to do that with my big dogs. Just any like different like genres of movies can do that if they're with you in a living room when you're watching a movie with your family, things like that. But I found this bag. I've had a couple of flight nannies that use this, and you can use the same with any kind of carrier, any kind of crate. I always tell people, like, don't feel like you have to go get like a special pet carrier or dog carrier, but it is helpful. So this is like a full backpack that this is mesh, the sides are mesh, the top is mesh, and then you can fold it out. It has a hard bottom and a hard back, so you can use it as a pet carrier on a plane. So that's why I don't know that I would justify it even for just socialization, but great example of what you can get. And then there's also like slings that just have like the pouch for puppies. No different, like I said, don't buy something if you don't want to. Then stuff a bag at the bottom and carry your puppy in a bag. It's just the same. It's just as easy to get them out, and that's so important to walk around with you. We do school pickups. They do some car rides. We have baseball season coming up, so I thought that was going to be a great option for some of our puppies where they're enclosed and other people can't necessarily touch them. That's the other thing with safety and socialization. I always just have a little thing of hand sanitizer, and if people are like, can I touch a puppy? I'm like, yeah, just put this on. Might feel weird to some people, not really in the age and era that we live in. So just have them put hand sanitizer on and then touch a puppy. That's so great. So that's another thing I got that's great to have. First couple weeks at home, again, that like next tier, second level, what do I do when like the basics aren't keeping puppy busy enough and we need the next thing. So there's some options for you. Hope that's helpful. Okay. It snowed this morning. So similar to having a puppy that you need to keep busy, when you don't have the outside, it's kind of harder to keep them going on all the things and keep them outside long enough to get them tired, etc. So great example of what I need to do. I'm doing it with my whole litter, but just the same, I would do this with one puppy at home. I just gave them some new toys that they haven't seen yet. So one, like having some toys on rotation can help. Just like toddlers. If they haven't seen it in a while, it's like new and exciting. And in a while, I mean like 3 days. It's not hard to rotate your toys. And then I am stuffing these little puzzles. I mentioned these dollar store puzzles. These are the ones I have in my bin. They don't last as long, but are great for my 7-week-old puppies. Also will work super great for these puppies. They just had lunch, so they might not eat too much, but I'm just using food. Here, pup. Here, pup. What's in here? It's a new activity. Those come off really easy, so aren't as great. But these ones just slide. See? Here, pup. Oh gosh, there you go. So they're already like taking those ones off when I need to pick up those pieces because I don't want them to chew them. But not only am I going to give them those activities, I'm also just going to hang out in here with them. But it'll help keep them busy for a little bit. And entertain. So they had new toys they hadn't seen. They have some time to play, but even just the one puppy, as you can see, also got this one to herself. And a little brain toy gets them fatigued, sometimes just as much as outdoor activity. So don't worry if it's winter and you get a puppy. You can keep them entertained inside. Still do your quick let outs in the weather. Doesn't matter. If you have one, I'm not as worried about it. It's the whole litter that I'm like, do they go out in 4 inches of snow? But all my big dogs are out going potty where they're supposed to. They don't have another option. So there you go. There's a great example as it's happening. Good girl. And then I can just play with them for a little bit. So that's gonna keep her entertained too. I have all these things to give her instead of my stuff to chew. She can also play with other puppies, but even just playing with me, this is what it would look like with one pup at home. Miss Osa's leaving us today. She's not snuggling with me like I want her to. But I also haven't just like hung out with her while I've been sharing with you. So here's cute girl. It's funny, I was laughing at my families because they were like, man, as much as we get out, like my camera rolls just full of them sleeping. Yes, they nap a lot the first week. You have to remember that too. Not usually where you want them to or snuggling with you like I want her to, when I want her to. It's like snuggle time or like, you know, on a bed because she needs to be cool. Dear, see, but you will snuggle even though you're amped up. Mom was just amping her up. Anyway, I didn't do my last couple night report. We got to the point after 6 nights where she only got up once to go pee, and I cheated one night and put her with the litter, which you can't do. But full disclosure, I don't have to do this a lot of the time with the like layover litter girls. I sleep at the end of the litter. I don't sleep at the beginning of the litters when my mamas have to go out multiple times a night. That's when I'm losing sleep. And then I work really hard so you don't have to lose a lot of sleep when they go home. But she did great. She would have probably been fine. She definitely didn't poop the last few nights until I let her out at 6 o'clock. She really wanted to go out to go potty and hasn't had any accidents inside except for one pee when my daughter said she was watching her and didn't. So that's gonna happen. Oh, she's not jumping off the couch. Not a good idea. Really, I need to go put her in the crate right now because she's tired. And this is always the struggle, right? You just want them to cuddle and settle down. But she'll settle down a lot faster in the crate. So that's what I'm gonna go do. I hope this was helpful. There was a few things and questions I didn't necessarily hit. But I can try to make a couple bonus videos or answer questions in comments if you want. But that is week 1. Hopefully some tips and tricks on how to keep yourself sane with a little puppy. She's so sweet. And she's going home today. This is part of the reason I don't like them to stay longer. I get more individual attention, but then I get more attached. This is when it happens that I get more attached and more sad when they leave because they like bond with me. Also, I want them to go home at 8 weeks so they do this with you and love you so much. Okay, we'll let you go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our video if you don't want to miss one, and give us a thumbs up so other people can see this too. Have a great day. Okay, but how could I not let them be cute? Just one more little play session. She needs a nap before her family gets here. But here we are, sucker for puppies. Peace. Peace.